Guys, welcome back. So, special bonuses. So, mostly what my channel has always entailed has been learning how to control your anxiety. Now, as young adults, as we go from adolescence in that crucial developmental period into our adult lives, we need to understand how to live within the social world. Now, the best way to actually do that, as science and research shows, is interacting with our environment, with our own peers, and the opposite sex. Now, there has been a community that has been very popular within the last 2 decades, I would say, and that has been the pickup community. Now, those not very familiar with the pickup community, of course, is a group, actually it's a huge community throughout the whole entire world of young men that have been developing themselves to attract women. Now, of course, we also have women that have been doing the same, especially with a lot of YouTube channels like Matthew Hussey to get the guy. Now, of course, this will be a combination of both and more about understanding that women have a choice within the matter of courtship. So the teachings that I'm going to bring is actually going to lower a lot of, sexual harassments, and of course what they're trying to do now in schools is actually teach this kind of mating intelligence, because the foundation of science is basically trying to teach young individuals at a very young age how to interact with women and vice versa, women with men. And why is this important? Because once we understand that we're not going to be alone and that we can find the most suitable person for us that will take care of us and love us to their full potential, then our anxiety actually falls to the most diminished level possible, which allows us to actually grow to the highest potential that we're always going to be. Now, what is this going to be? This is going to be a little bit more different than your pickup channel. Of course, there's 1,000 pickup channels, and every young man is trying to be the best pickup artist possible. I am not. I am not trying to teach you how to pick up women. I am trying to show you how the courtship dynamic actually works and what women want, right? What some women want will be different than what other women want. And what I'm going to give you is the insight of every different perspective, from mature women to younger, and of course within the time span of, anybody that has been in relationships, has been married, has been divorced. Of course, for women, it'll be the exact same thing, because what I'm going to bring, and for you, of course, because I can't leave you out in the cold, is how to know when a man is actually the man for you. How do you know when a man is narcissistic, psychopathic, or any of the above that actually display any antisocial behavior? I do have a background in criminology, and of course I know how to pinpoint these individuals. Now, of course, for the guys, this will be very interesting because you will also have the background information that a lot of the pickup channels won't actually have. And this is very important, because what is the best way to understand what women want is to ask a woman. So of course I'm going to have interviews, I'm going to have these with credible individuals that I think have been around the field and have studied these for their lives. Any individuals that have been in relationships, of course, they have the credibility. Any random individuals, and make it fun for ranting, and of course any questionnaires that I might have out there for fun. And of course, any individual that is actually going through the process of developing themselves to be the best person that they want. So I have individuals of different levels give you the perspectives and how troublesome it is being charismatic and going through the trial and error of being that person that they always wanted to be. So I hope you have given this thought, and of course it's something that's always going to be essential, that you can always teach to your children, to your peers, to your family, and it's always going to be something very important that I've always cherished in my own life. Of course, we have individuals that have taken advantage of a lot of information that psychology and evolutionary psychology have implemented upon mating intelligence. like what they call the red pill community. And of course, these individuals are all about the hatred of women. Now, what I am basically advocating is that the kind and loving aspect is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout all my videos. So this is something that we always want to take in consideration. Now, I do not agree with the red pill community, but I do agree with the pickup community as an entity, because what it allows us to do is have a platform for development. And I think having such a diverse area, being the epicenter of so much knowledge, is going to be probably the best tool that we can have to develop into the people that we want to be. And this is for both men and women. So understanding that would allow us to have a different perspective. Of course, we have individuals that have been on the news, such as Julien Blanc. I have actually personally met Julien Blanc, and he's a great guy. I, stand up for the guy because once you actually put yourself within the spotlight, everything is going to be twisted no matter what. And what I've always wanted to do with this channel is show my true self. And that's very difficult to do, especially when you have such an elite following, as they would call it within the pickup community. And of course, I'll show you a little segment, if I can do it within the video, about how I met Julien Blanc and how he's actually changed my life. So now I'm here to do the exact same thing in a different manner. So what I'm going to do is actually bring you to sex ed. Alright guys, welcome to class. I'm out and about, what I just talked about.